Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Wisdom Wednesday recap. So, normally on Wednesdays, I will go live on Facebook and I will talk about a practical spiritual tool that we can use for the energies that are currently available for us. However, this Wednesday, I tried to go live 3 times, and 3 times I just could not get the broadcast to go live. So I am using this medium to still help to get that spiritual tool out there because I believe it's so important because right now, astrologically, we have Venus going retrograde. When Venus goes retrograde, it's that opportunity for us to really start looking at, giving and receiving and our beliefs around love. And then we also have Pluto, which is going to be joining with Venus, not in retrograde, just kind of meeting up with it within certain degrees. And as it does that, what Pluto represents is the underworld or our unconscious. So this is such a beautiful opportunity for us to really begin to look at our unconscious beliefs, our unconscious programming that we just kind of run and we don't really question. We just kind of run off of it and just say, okay, it is what it is. This is the way life has to be because it's the way life has always been. And so now we're getting this beautiful opportunity to really look at that and say, does it have to be this way? Do I have to continue to live like this? And that's what we're given the opportunity for today. And that's the spiritual tool I want to share with all of you is how we can begin to loosen the value that we have for those beliefs and begin to instill or install, if you will, new ones, okay, that are going to be more beneficial for us instead of these old programs that we've just kind of been running off of. And so we can do that because there's a line in A Course in Miracles that says that basically you question God all the time, but you hardly ever question your ego. You hardly ever question, those thoughts. We just don't do it. We question God all the time, but we don't question our own ego. And so that's really what we're given this opportunity to do because the ego is nothing more than a combination of all of our belief systems kind of put together, and we've kind of built it into a construct, and that construct is constantly running. It's running off of those old programs. And so now we have this opportunity to look at those old programs and really ask, is this serving me or not? And so the very first thing that we want to do, and the best way I can really kind of explain this whole process to you is just by using an example, and one that is widespread. So let's say that you are driving down the road and someone cuts you off. Okay, now what we may be tempted to do is we may be tempted to brush it off, be like, oh, people just don't know how to drive, or maybe maybe we try to be super spiritual about it and we say, oh, well, they must have somewhere really important to go. We need to not do either of those. Instead, let's recognize what just happened. Someone just cut me off in traffic. I see this. I acknowledge this. We're not putting pink fondant over, a mud pie. That's not what we're doing. We are looking directly at the mud pie and saying, okay, that's a mud pie. I can cover it in sprinkles. I can cover it in pink fondant. I can cover it in pink frosting. It's still going to be a mud pie. So let's, instead of trying to cover it over and make it look pretty, let's instead just call it what it is. Let's be willing to say, okay, I acknowledge that right now I just got cut off. Then be willing to say, okay, what are the feelings that are coming up? What are the thoughts that are coming up? Be willing to look at those and see, here's the beauty. You can do this as you're driving. You can. You don't have to close your eyes for it. You just have to become aware. Okay, so what are my thoughts? What are my feelings here? Or, okay, so maybe we can't get to the thoughts right now. That's okay. What am I feeling? Well, I'm feeling agitated. I'm agitated because this person cut me off, and so forth and so on. So as we begin to question it, we begin to really see the thoughts that are coming up. And then from those thoughts, we can say, okay, well, what must I believe in order for this, whatever I'm seeing, to be happening? Okay? So first we acknowledge it. Second, we question. And if you don't want to go into your emotions, if you don't want to necessarily go into the thoughts, then just ask yourself, what must I believe in order for this to be happening? Well, I must believe that people are terrible drivers. I must believe that people are mean, disrespectful, don't know how to drive. I mean, I'm sure there is a plethora of things that can come to your mind. So you really just start to look at those. Okay, so these are the unconscious programmings or programs that are currently happening. I see this, I recognize this. Then we want to go to our next logical step. So consider, if you will, if you had a light bulb and a lamp in your house and you turned it on and, it did its little flash and it burnt out. You would not keep that light bulb in there because it's not serving a purpose anymore. It's not helping anymore. It no longer can serve the purpose that it was given. It cannot. So what do? You go get a new light bulb and you twist it in there, you turn it on, and bam, the light is back. And that's what we're doing. We are looking at those beliefs. Okay, so I must believe this, and this about, my current reality or my current situation. Now we ask, is this serving me? Is this helping me? If it's not serving you or helping you, here's the big thing. We must be willing to give over the value for that belief. Okay? And so that brings us to our next question. Do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? Which one do I want? Now, when people hear this question, all too often, well, they're like, can I have both? Well, if you want to be right about those beliefs that people are inconsiderate, people just don't know how to drive, people are mean, or people could be a curse in my life, whatever the case may be, whatever that belief is, if you want to be right about it, then guess what? You get the grand prize of being right about it and getting that experience again and again and again and again, because it's an unconscious program and you're just saying, I still value that. I still need that in my life. Now, if you choose instead, I want to be happy, then what you are choosing, you're choosing to say, you know what? Instead of valuing that belief, instead of valuing, all this stuff, I don't want that. I am choosing happiness. Then we're going to hand it over to the one who knows what to do it, because all too often, what I know I used to do a whole lot of the time was I would try to fix it. I would try to handle it. I would try to heal it. Well, I'm the one who came up with the problem. I'm the one who came up with the belief. So I don't necessarily believe that I'm going to be able to come up with a solution from the same consciousness, right? So I can then say, Spirit, I am willing to hand over the value for my belief that people just don't know how to drive over to you. I ask that the part of my mind that still values this belief now be healed. Simple and easy as that. What do? All we're doing is step one. We are identifying what is happening in front of us. We're not putting sunshine, rainbows, and lollipops on it. We're not putting pink fondant on it. It's not what we're doing. Looking straight at it. After we look straight at it, what must I believe in order for this to be happening? We go ahead and we say the beliefs. Well, I must believe this. I must believe that. Whatever those things are. Then from there, do I want to be right or do I want to be happy? If I want to be right, then I get the grand prize and I get to be right about it. I get to be right that people don't know how to drive, that people are inconsiderate, that people just don't know how to, operate a turning signal, whatever the case may be. Or I can choose to be happy. And in my choice to be happy, that means I'm giving up the value for that idea. I'm giving up the value for that belief in whatever way, shape, or form. Now, the way, shape, and form that I use doesn't have to be the way that you use it. But the way that I do it is, okay, Spirit, I am willing to give up the value that I'm holding for this belief about whatever it is I named the belief. And then I ask that the part of my mind that still believes this in whatever way, shape, or form, whatever the belief is, now be healed. Okay, so I'm giving it over to Spirit. Now, if you want, you do not have to, we can go to a fourth step. And we can then say, Spirit, please teach me the truth instead of this. Or we could say, Spirit, I want to see peace instead of this. Or, Spirit, I want to see the truth instead of this. I want to see the truth instead of this belief. However it is that you want to put that. It's all up to you. But we're just asking then, we're asking to be taught. Because remember, we cannot come up with a solution. It's not because we're stupid. It's not because we're dumb. It's just because we can't come up with a solution from the consciousness in which that problem came from. So we need to then reach within ourselves. We're not reaching out. We are simply reaching within ourselves to the truth of who we are, to the divinity that we are, to really shed light on what is actually happening. And that's what we want to do. And this is how we begin to identify the unconscious beliefs that we're holding. And this is how we can begin to loosen those beliefs and begin to have them replaced, not by us, but by Spirit in whatever way, shape, or form. Now, if you want to, once again, your choice, you can do a flip. And so let's say that, you believe that because people cut you off, you believe that people are just stupid, we'll just say. And so you can flip that and say, Spirit, please teach me that that people in and of themselves are not stupid, that teach me that they can be nothing but a blessing in my life. Teach me of their exalted intelligence, or however you want to put it. But you can do that if you wish. If you're like, well, I still believe there's something I need to do in order to facilitate this, then you can do that. You can flip it and, kind of be like, okay, well, I'm seeing people as stupid, but I don't necessarily want to continue to see that. I want to see the divinity that they are. I want to see the love that they are. I want to see the joy that they are. That's what I want to see. So that is the premise of the tool. We acknowledge, we question, we're willing to give up the value for that belief in whatever way, shape, or form, and we know that we can start to do that. Do I want to be right about this, or do I want to be happy? And then from there, we're willing to give it over. We're asking for the one who knows how to heal it, and then we're asking for the one who knows how to help us in whatever words work best for you. So that's just a simple, practical tool that you can use. And that's what I love about spirituality is, you can use that. You can take that and shift it and change it to something that works better for you within the framework that you work in. But the beautiful thing is it's practical. It's something that you can do anywhere and everywhere the moment something disturbs your peace. It doesn't have to be done on a particular day, a particular night, a particular astrological thingamabobber. It doesn't have to be done. You can do that anytime, anywhere. And then what you're going to start seeing is the shift, the change. And the shift and the change is not coming because you are doing it. The shift and change is because you're willing to see it differently. You're willing to be shown another way. So I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being here. And I will hopefully be able to see you all live on Facebook tomorrow, or live on Facebook on Wednesday. And then I can start posting those videos here to YouTube as well.